Good evening, Abuja, and welcome to another edition of Electricity Town Hall, a program being sponsored by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, aimed at keeping consumers of electricity abreast of happenings in the nation's power sector. This program comes your way every Monday on the network service of Radio Nigeria at 7 o'clock in the evening. NERC is the regulator for the nation's power sector, interfacing with electricity generation companies known as GENCOs, the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN), and the distribution companies (DISCOs). I am David Umoru, your anchor. The Nigerian electricity supply industry (NERC) is the framework for electricity generation, transmission and distribution in Nigeria. It's a critical sector that plays a vital role in Nigeria's economic development, fueling industries and improving the standard of living. However, the NERC faces ongoing challenges such as providing reliable and affordable power to a growing population. One area that has remained critical has been the distribution sector, where consumers are given electricity and in turn required to pay for services rendered. Owing to issues surrounding electricity supply, consumption bills, electricity theft, and consumer protection, the federal government has introduced several initiatives geared towards protecting the consumer, while also providing the investor the enabling environment to get returns on their investment. Today, we'll be looking at the initiatives by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to protect electricity customer as contained in the Customer Protection Regulations 2023. How much has been done in this regard, and to what extent are customers aware of the available channels provided to address their complaints? These and more will be interrogated tonight on Electricity Town Hall as we look at customer protection in the Nigeria electricity supply industry (NERC). And we have in the studio a Principal Manager, Stakeholder Management Division of NERC, Mr. Roland Acho. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much.
Also, we have with us a Senior Manager, also from the Stakeholder Management Division of the Commission, Pamela Akubwe. Welcome on board today's program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
All right. As it is always, we're gentlemen in the studio, right, Roland? So we'll just begin from the lady in our midst. Tell us the initiatives of the Commission to ensure customer protection in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Let's begin there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you again for having us. It's always a delight to chat with you. The Commission has made a lot of efforts to protect the interest of the customer because it acknowledges that the customer is the backbone of the NERC. So for starters, we have a very structured complaints redress mechanism where, customers are required to, first of all, lodge their complaints at the distribution company, the DISCO CCU, the complaints unit. And then when they are not satisfied, they can escalate to our forum offices. The Commission has forum offices nationwide. And then again, if they are not satisfied with the level of resolution or actions taken at that point, they can now escalate to the headquarters. We also have a very structured appeal process where the Commission sits over the decisions or any contentious issues and then takes a decision, with the interests of the parties in mind. Then again, we have the Customer Protection Regulation, which addresses metering, billing, connection, disconnection. Is a whole thing, everything relating to, the activities of the NERC and, the handling of the customer is captured in that regulation. Then we have KPIs for licensees. We have key performance indicators where, we have standards set which they are required to meet in the provision of services in the sector. We have the Bill of Rights where customers are made to know their rights and obligations. What are they required to do? What expectations should they have of licensees? And then the Commission has also gone ahead to cap estimated billing because the Commission is doing everything in its power to put an end to estimated billing, close the metering gap in the sector to ensure, fairness in billing and all of that. And then to crown all of that, we have a contact center that attends to all the complaints of customers and, pushes for resolution. So It's a lot. I can go on and on.
It's a whole lot just to protect the customer here.
Yeah.
That means customer is king, I would say. Just while you were going at it, I could see Mr. Roland just nodding to it, and I don't know. Before I would ask you to provide us with an overview of the Customer Protection Regulations 2023, do you have anything to add to some of the initiatives she just spoke about?
Yeah, I think briefly before I speak on the overview of customer protection regulation, in addition to what my colleague have said, there are KPIs that the Commission have put in place to ensuring that the customers are protected, and also the service level agreements that are already in place. That one also is to ensure that the obligatory responsibilities on the part of the discos to their customers is maintained and kept. And also, like she spoke about the capping of estimation, this has been done with a view of protecting customers so that you will not be arbitrarily charged.
Let's get into the 2023 regulations.
Yeah, the CPR regulation speaks specifically to the rules of engagement between the customer and the utility, in this case, the discos. So it speaks to 4 basic areas of the regulation. Primarily, it talks on the issue of a connection and disconnection of customers. Connection is the first onboarding, where a customer onboards into the utility network, and it stipulates the processes, assigns obligations and responsibilities to both parties. What should the customer provide before he is connected? And if those provisions have been made, the utility is under obligation to connect that customer to its network. Then it also speaks to meter reading, billing, and cash collection. It gives a methodic approach whereby customers who are on postpaid meters are read. And the regulation provides that for customers that are on postpaid meters, their meters should be read at least once every 3 months. And it also speaks that their billing should align with the meter reading. And this which could translate to the cash collections. For whatever you have been able to read, you should be able to bill, and it should translate into cash. That is the collections of it. Then the regulation also speaks to customer complaints handling and standard procedures. This specifically tells the customers the procedural ways by which customers will be able to lodge in their complaints. And it puts obligation on the utility to ensure that for each of the utility we have in this country, there should be a customer complaint unit whereby customers will launch their complaints. And it further stipulates that once those complaints are lodged, there are time frame attached to them whereby the utility must ensure that those complaints are resolved, without which the customer is equally given the opportunity to escalate his appeals to the forum. That is what the customer complaints handling and standard procedure speaks to. And last, we'll talk about the customer service standards. This provides standards where the discos are under obligation to ensure that those standards are not only maintained, but the customers ensures that he sees the result of it. For example, if there's an outage, how long should the outage last? It is clearly stated in the standards. And the disco should be able to tell you whether within a short period of time, whether this requires immediate repairs depending on the damage done. So it stipulates a procedural approach of which customers will be able to get the electricity served in the right quantity, in the right quality, and in the right price.
Okay, thank you so much. And suffice to say, the NERC is an umpire between the consumer and the discos here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let me come to you, Pamela. You are also within this the catchment areas of discos, 102 discos, and he just talked about having to inform consumers when, for example, when there's a power outage, how long it should last. I'm sure you belong to one of these catchment areas, and you see on one of the social media handles. Do you get enough information from there? Or do you think the discos actually put out enough of this information as to how long power outages, and if you are to go by what you see based on what the regulations have put down? Do you think it's a fair deal they're putting out there already, especially in terms of information?
Well, yeah, I would say they're doing their bit, but I mean, it can be better, right? So that's why the Commission keeps pushing for deeper engagement with customers.
Okay.
Because if you check the social media handles of the discos, you would see, oh, we're expecting an outage at this time to this time. Maybe it could last longer, but the bottom line is that a customer is prepped and is informed ahead of time that there's going to be an outage or something of the sort. But like I said, the commission is pushing for more engagements. Put the go on radio. Is not just social media. Not everybody has access to social media. Do go to churches, go to mosques, disseminate information as much as possible. So I'd say they're doing their bit, but we can make it better.
It can be better.
Yeah.
I'll still come to that. I'm talking about campaign avenues. I'll come to you, Mr. Roland. How does the Commission ensure that customers are educated about their rights and its regulations?
I think the Commission is doing a lot in ensuring that customers are aware of all the regulations, their rights in the usage of electricity. And one of those areas that the Commission usually embark on is through the electronic media, primarily to this radio.
Okay.
This discussion is an avenue for customers to be aware of their rights and the Commission rules and obligations. And in addition to that, the Commission has these town hall meetings that are held on quarterly basis. The town hall meetings afford customers,
which is different from this electricity town hall.
Yes. So this one are physical town hall meetings. Physical engagements with customers of the various discos. There are various locations where the Commission comes in there and the disco staff, where the Commission presents all that is required of the disco in terms of the programs, in terms of the regulations, in terms of the orders, and what customers are expected or what the discos are equally expected to do. And right in there, the customers lodge in their complaints and they are resolved. So these are one of the ways that the Commission is bringing about awareness. Then we also look at radio jingles. There are jingles that are always going on intermittently, and also awareness campaigns are equally being carried. Then we talk about community engagements, where the Commission engages with the various communities in the discharge of its responsibility. Currently, they have collaboration with NYSC. It's just new. And I think going forward, NYC group, in association with the National Election Agency, will be able to be the pilot for advancing the cause of customers with the Commission. And also we have a lot of MOUs with some other organizations, particularly the FCCCP. These are all the efforts that the Commission has put in place to ensure that there is awareness of Commission's goals, Commission responsibilities to the customers.
Okay. Do you have things like Electricity Week? Just to add to some of these campaigns, how much of grassroots presence do you have? In recent times, we have seen product marketing take live bands to places just to make sure they're able to interact with the grassroots people at the grassroots. So how do you think, with the things you currently have, are there other avenues you can think? Because we live around these people. You interact with them, you interface with them. Are there other avenues you feel that we can engage these people even much more, Pamela?
Yeah, so we do road shows.
Okay.
Yeah, as part of our town hall meetings, we do road shows. Like, he spoke about the MOUs. We have an MOU with the National Orientation Agency. Mm-hmm. So we jointly do road shows, what's it called? Banners.
Banners
we do all of that, placards, all of that. And then, like we said, we have a CDS group now with the NYSC. Okay. So they also do, spread the news and create the awareness. So there's a bunch of initiatives in the pipeline, and we're still rolling them out in bits, in addition to what we have existing already.
On a lighter note, when you talked about the road show, for the road shows I've seen for some brands talking about telecoms, talking about fast consumer goods, they give freebies.
No.
I don't know, for your road shows, do you do free units?
Do you want free electricity tokens?
Yes, free electricity tokens. I'm sure I'm speaking for virtually all the Nigerians.
We'll consider that.
Definitely, we'll talk about that when we return. You're listening to Electricity Town Hall on the network service of Radio Nigeria, a program being sponsored by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. We'll be back shortly. We're going to short break now. Stay tuned.
This is Electricity Town Hall on the network service of Radio Nigeria. We will be back shortly.
Electricity thief na when person tap light wey no be im own, connect illegal wire, tamper with meter or bypass light sef. See electricity thief fit make transformer blow. E dey spoil equipment wey dey use electricity. E dey make electricity regulators dem dey increase tariff so dey fit solve the wahala when this electricity thief dey cause. E dey also cause accident wey fit kpai person, and if dem catch you, na jail be that o, and na 3 years at least na you go cool off for there, or you go pay fine, or make e be say you pay fine and still go jail sef. No thief light o, no kpai yourself, make you no make other people sef suffer. You fit stop this one right now. Report electricity thief to your disco. This message na from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. NERC, make light for the day.
We are back with Electricity Town Hall on the network service of Radio Nigeria.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's still Electricity Town Hall on the network service of Radio Nigeria, and we're discussing customer protection in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NERC, and we're looking at the initiatives by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to protect electricity customers as contained in the Customer Protection Regulations 2023. And we've been speaking with the Principal Manager, Stakeholder Management Division of NERC, Roland Archer. Welcome to our studio once again.
Thank you so much.
Also speaking is the Senior Manager, also from the Stakeholder Management Division of the Commission, Pamela Akubwe. Thank you once again for being with us on the program.
Thank you.
All right. And we ended the first half on a lighter note, so you might just want to stick around because you want to hear if there will be free tokens somewhere on the road show. Well, Pamela will let us know how that will go. Okay, she said we shouldn't hold our breath, but I'll see how much I can push her for it. Moving on now with more questions. Roland, over to you. How does the NERC ensure electricity billing is transparent and fair? How does it ensure that?
Yeah, I think primarily the issue of fairness in billing and transparency would be eliminated if every customer is metered.
Okay.
And the Commission have put in a lot of initiatives and programs to ensuring that this is done within the next 3 to 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. However, in the absence of meters for everybody to be metered, the Commission has also brought other initiatives in capping of electricity customers. These are customers that are unmetered. And there have been this issue of estimated or crazy billings in the past, which the discos arbitrarily bill their customers. As a result of those complaints, the Commission, via consultation with the stakeholders, came out with an order known as estimated billing. Came out with an order of capping of estimated customers. And this caps ensures that the margin of error between the metered and unmetered customers is reduced to the barest minimum. So that is the initiative of the Commission to ensure that the crazy billings is at least eliminated. At least a methodic, scientific approach, even though there are some errors, but it tries to the extent that it can breach
to the barest minimum.
The barest minimum of that gap. Also, the Commission have the monitoring of there is how do I call it? A monitoring mechanism,
okay,
whereby, based on the disclosed data or monthly submissions to the Commission considers the energy that goes into the discos and how it was billed. And they're able to ensure that where there's an arbitrary billing, the commission will carry out a review. And where it is discovered that the discos that were billed their customers, they are fined. You have been hearing of the commission fining discos for overbilling of estimated customers, which is when it is contrary to the approved caps. So these are the measures in which the commission has put in place to ensuring that there is at least transparency in it. But we hope that when everybody is metered, all customers are metered, the issue of transparency, the issue of fairness will automatically be eliminated. It is for what you consume, whatever you meter it, that is what you're going to pay. It is only when there is an issue with your meter, maybe there's a malfunction, that is when now the commission quality has regulations to addressing those occurrences in the event that they come up.
Okay, thank you, Roland. I don't know if you can address this, but I will still ask it anyway, just in case you have a bit of information about it. It's beginning to look like customers are being pushed. The line for the customers to cross is being pushed further every other time. Now, you've said things like, if everybody can be metered, there'll be fairness in billing. How about the supply angle, where they say, okay, if I've purchased power, electricity, then I should have it. I know the discos and all have come up with bands where you expect light for so hours and so hours. But the layman will continue to say, if I have paid for something, let me get it. If I bought 100 naira worth of it, let me use my 100 naira worth and let it finish. Then I know that I don't have light. Not that I have purchased power and I'm not getting it. Sometimes they draw a parallel comparison with other products. Let's say the telecom. And you tell me, for 2 days, you won't have network on your phone, even when you have airtime. But again, you say, no, power, electricity is not like some of those products. How can you at least bridge this gap to achieve fairness, not just in billing, but also in consumption, in supply?
Yeah. Okay, so we're very used to this comparison between the telcos and then our sector. Okay. But, the dynamics of the sectors are different, entirely different, right? But, with that story for another day. I don't want us to go, okay. It's going to take us,
there are a lot of dynamics.
Very deep.
Okay, as we wrap up, let's just talk about the modus operandi of state-based forum offices and how effective the complaint resolution process to customers in the rural areas are, as we wrap up.
So forum offices are the commission's offices that are located in each state of the nation, and they operate via a quasi-judicial function where we have a mix of several experts from, various areas like engineers, we have lawyers, we have people representing the FCCPC, we have, people representing the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. So it's an entire mix of experts who come together to form a forum and
deliver this service.
Yes, so they actually sit and deliberate on these issues. We use mediation, and then we rely on extant regulations as well to resolve complaints. Electricity-related complaints. Now, the decisions by the forum are binding, and they're enforceable.
Oh, great.
And one of the primary requirements of the forum locations is accessibility. The forum office has to be accessible to even, the commonest person, right? And then there's provision for admitting complaints from people who can't even communicate who can't write or read. So we have our officials are trained to listen to them and document, and document their complaints, and then follow up with the discourse to ensure that they are fully resolved, And then we also have meetings virtually with people who are, based in or who are unable to come to the forum to ensure that their complaints are fully documented. We also call we've had sessions, community complaints, where we call and resolve complaints over the phone.
Oh, great.
Yes, so we have communities who are unable to get to the location we get a representative,
do
maybe a
that
community head or something. We call in and get all their complaints, document them, and then push for resolution. So you can say the commission is doing everything in its power to ensure that. Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll just leave this here today. A whole lot for the customers to enjoy within the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. Well done, I must say to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Roland and also Pamela. This is where we end today's edition of Electricity Town Hall on the network service of Radio Nigeria. And I've been speaking with a Principal Manager, Stakeholder Management Division of NERC, Roland Acho. Thanks for joining us on the program this evening.
You're welcome.
Also, Senior Manager from the Stakeholder Management Division of the Commission, Pamela Akubwe. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for your insightful contributions this evening. Appreciation to the production team, Studio Manager Phineas Odoyo, Facilitator Conrad Labe, Producer Sunday Goche. Special thanks to our Executive Producers Msushima Ki. I am David Umoru. See you next Monday for another interesting edition of Electricity Town Hall. Goodbye.